So I get asked a lot in my Facebook group about which items do I use for my prep. So we prep all of our items ourselves. It's my husband's full-time job within our business. So we get all our boxes, all our bubble wrap, all of our poly bags. So I'm just going to show you the places where I source mine. Now, ideally, you want to source as much as you can for free. So the very best place to get your boxes, for example, and sometimes your bubble wrap, is on Facebook Marketplace, because when people move house, often they've got used boxes, they want to be a bit ethical and not just chuck things away. So you'll probably be able to pick up dozens of boxes free of charge in really good condition. So when I first started my business, my husband, he had a van for work, so he used to go in the van and collect boxes on boxes and boxes, and used to sort of do a run every weekend, and we used to pick up dozens and dozens like that, all for free. Now I'm a bit bigger. My business has to buy in the box, unfortunately, but it's something to consider. So if you do buy them, I use a company called Macro Packaging, and this page is their bubble wrap. So I get one huge roll of bubble wrap, and it generally lasts me for quite a while. I just kind of, my husband does, just kind of cuts up to the right size out off of this giant roll. So I tend to find any of these are pretty much do the trick. It depends on how much storage space you've got, and depends on what size you want. But for me, I get the huge size so that I can cut it up to go around the products. I get my boxes from here too. So there's a debate between double wall and single wall. If you use single wall boxes, that's perfectly fine, but just be aware you will not be reimbursed for carrier damage. You're only covered if you have a double wall box. So down here, do lots of different sizes, and the ones that I buy are so I have 4 sizes of boxes I buy from these guys. My biggest box is 24 by 18 by 18. That's the biggest box that you're allowed to send into Amazon. My second largest box is this one here, 18, 18, 20. And then I get, where are we? Then I get this one here, 18, 12, 12, and the one next to it, 18, 18, 12. So these ones here are for really heavy things that are really small. So this might be perfect if you're selling quite a lot of liquid items, shampoo and conditioner, cleaning products, something like that, where you've got quite a lot of volume, probably liquid, or tins of stuff if you're in the grocery category. So it's where you'll fill up 15 kilograms quite quickly without needing much space. So that's 18, 12, 12, 18, 18, 12, 18, 18, 20, and 24, 18, 18. And this company, they always have a next day delivery. I've never had a problem. All the boxes are in really good condition, and the guys are really great, and it comes next day, and they're always dry and arrive safely. So I love them, and I wouldn't go anywhere else. Then you have to think about your box tape. You can buy box tape from guys like this, but for me, I just buy mine on Amazon. I generally try and buy them in sort of larger rolls, so I buy 24 at a time. I'm a Prime customer, just order, forget and go. Just be a bit careful. So I find with brown tape, it's not something that's worth saving pennies on, okay? So I've bought some really quite what I thought was cost-effective brown tape, but it didn't stick to the box, it didn't stick to itself, and I ended up chucking it away. I bought 6 rolls and I used like 1.5 and then gave up. So with something like this, because you know, if you imagine if it doesn't hold, it's all of your lovingly sourced products that are going to go missing if the box breaks or the seal is damaged. So Scotch tape is my personal favorite, and I sort of don't deviate from that brand. I also, Packer tape is another one that's quite good. I prefer Scotch tape for brown, and I prefer Packer tape for clear. Don't know why, it's just what I've got used to over the time. So again, I try and buy 2 or 3 at a time, 12 clear rolls. Just out of anyone who's interested, on average, I roughly go through 1 roll of brown tape for every 8 boxes, give or take. I mean, I do over tape a little bit. I go around the top and stuff because I want my stuff to arrive safely. But that's what you're looking at in terms of your usage. Poly bags. This is something I never ever buy from Amazon because it's just not cost effective. So I buy from these guys, polypostalpackaging.com. They are the cheapest I can find. They're not necessarily the best. So I find I seal my husband seals the poly bags, and then we just put a layer of clear tape over the top, because sometimes they're not as robust or as sticky as I would quite like. But they are so cheap that it makes ripping that quick layer of clear tape absolutely worthwhile. The only thing is, sometimes these guys have some issues with stock. So if you are using this company, I would over order. I mean, I had to order some this morning. I rang the guys up and I said, when are this particular size I want going to be in stock? And they gave me the date. So they're a great company to work with, but they either run out too quickly or just don't get enough stock in. So just don't let yourself get short with this company, because you're not going to be able to necessarily rebuy them. And you go to all products, and there's simply FBA bags, and they've got the air holes and the suffocation warning, if that's the right word. And don't forget, any time you label on the outside. So labeling, we ship quite a few items, so I prefer the 27 items, 27 per sheet labels. I know a lot of people prefer the 44. For me, the 44 is just a little bit too fiddly. 27 works perfectly well. I buy these in 500, so it comes in like a massive box, like a giant shoebox. So it's quite very big, quite heavy. But that will generally tick me along. So I've just ordered another one now. So I've purchased 2 of them on the 26th of October, and where are we now? We're on the 16th of November, and I've gone through 1,000. So I do go through quite a few of them. But Labels For You are the best brand. They stick really well, they don't come off, they don't rub off. I've never had any problems. And I'm very much a person who, if I find a product or company that I like, unless there's a massive problem, I'll stick with them. I don't change just for the sake of it. Recently, Amazon asked us to stop sticking the labels on top and to separate them side by side. I've got 1 label per sheet, so I don't separate them. I do stick it on the side of the box, but if you want to, just get your scissors and cut it in half and do UPS one side and the Amazon the other side. I've not done that, and I've not been told off, so I just bang it on as 1 label. 100 of these usually, depends how many boxes you send out. That's what I use these for, so it's up to you. I buy them in 1s or 2s and store them. Last thing on the stationery thing, I haven't found a listing for this, but you need some really good scissors, and you need 2 or 3 pairs of them. So I always order like 3 or 4, because I've got one in the kitchen and one in the front room and one in the drawer, and one inevitably gets lost. So you always need some good scissors, nice and comfortable, good and sharp. And if your scissors are struggling to cut through stuff, because I don't like the tape roll things, I just like, get the roll, cut it. I don't like the gadgets. I think they're a bit cumbersome. So trick for you, if your scissors are not cutting very well through tape, just quickly cut a piece of sandpaper 2 or 3 times, and that will sharpen your scissors a treat, and they will last you for a long time. So if you invest in a nice pair of scissors, that's how to keep them working. With your printer, Amazon strongly recommend that you have a laser printer, because if an inkjet, sorry, not an inkjet, a laser jet. If you have an inkjet, then if it rains, or if they end up, getting a bit damp or soggy, or whatever left about, and a bit dewy in the morning, maybe, sometimes the ink can run. And then obviously they can't scan the barcode, and you're in a world of trouble. So a laser jet is what they highly recommend. I had a look at this because I wanted to give you guys the one that I bought myself, which is a Samsung, I think. I bought it for 65 quid 2 years ago. Had a look, and it's 270. All of them are really expensive. So I don't know if that's because there's lots of home offices now because of COVID, or I don't know if that's market forces. No idea. So I've just gone for a reasonably priced one. It's still more than I paid, and still more than I probably want to pay. But it's well worth it. A good printer will just save you time, energy and effort. So about 80, 90 quid. I mean, you might get it cheaper in Currys. Just a really basic, doesn't need to be in colour, just a really basic laser jet. I don't think I've forgotten anything else. That's all the prep stuff I use. So just to recap: micro packaging, poly postalpackaging.com, that's a mouthful. 500 sheets of 27 labels for Label to You, sorry, labels for you, and LaserJet printer. If there's anything else, I'll put a link in at the bottom to all these companies. I haven't got affiliate links to any of these guys, so they're just straight up links. If I've forgotten anything else, I will update the video and add it. But for now, that's all. Thanks.